Welcome to the SigCHI 94 video photo book. I'm Ben Schneiderman, and these are some of the pictures I took during the last week of April in Boston at the SigCHI 94 conference. The co-chairs were Wendy Kellogg and Tom Hewitt, who were very proud of the event, and rightfully so for the 2,700 people who attended. Tom started with a little introduction and presented Mitch Kapoor, whose opening plenary talk covered his experiences in developing Lotus 123. The audience listened carefully, and here showing the spirit of SigCHI were Melissa and Kevin Schofield, and Don Norman chatting with Mitch Kapoor, also in the lighthearted, warm spirit that Wendy and Tom had initiated. Wendy with Tom Landauer, and Wendy with Judy Olson enjoying their success. Earlier, the workshops had begun, and here we see a lively discussion going on in the one about program visualization with Tony Wasserman, Stephen Ike, Brian Johnson, and Mark Brown, with comments from Stephen Reese. And elsewhere, Bill Verplank was very proud of his latest art creation for one of the workshops. And out in the halls, the discussions continued, and here someone talks about the big widget that seems to have gotten away, with skeptical looks from others in the hallway. There was a lot of carrying on, and Rex Hartson and Jacob Nielsen were fighting for attention for their latest books and accomplishments. And breakout groups in the workshop were being productive and I think having a good time too. Here, Batya Friedman describing her position. But her gang responded to me by throwing a Nerf ball. The conference was attended by many of our senior researchers, here John Bennett, and some of the more junior members of future SigCHI conferences were doing their designs and also having a good time. The tutorials, of which there were about 40, included this one by Deborah Mayu. And you can see the audience was listening intently and taking notes here carefully. In one of them, Austin Henderson was doing notes on his Macintosh and then agreed to pose for me. Jared Spool led a workshop. And John Carrott was very proud of his Bali SigCHI t-shirt design. Susan Dre was very proud of her telephone, or actually her telephone-supported cooperative work where one of her workshop participants was on the speakerphone. Nick Belkin made a tutorial presentation, and some of the workshop groups sat in the hallways as they made their plans. Andy Van Dam was part of the group that ran a very lively workshop on 3D interfaces. And Dan Olson chairs the editorial board of the new Transactions on Computer-Human Interaction, but the editorial board took it a lot lighter than Dan did. Another one of the workshops was Rex Hartson and Debbie Hicks, who enjoyed themselves but also were worked up and worked out by the experience. Diane Darrow from ACM was very pleased, and always her jovial spirit added to the good mood, as did John Meads. And back to the workshops, where this one about HCI education. At the demos, Charlene Chartier of Galaxy talked about Galaxy while her colleague did a demo. And also the interactive experience gave people a chance to try some novel interfaces. The conference sessions had lots of interesting papers. Here Dave Carr makes his point. Terry Winograd makes some notes or checks his schedule. Aaron Marcus. And Don Norman taking notes on his Apple, of course. Alistair Sutcliffe. And here, many proud authors, including Joe Dumas, for his new book on Practical Guide to Usability Testing. He was proud. We had lots of visitors. Here's a bunch from our Washington, D.C. area. And here's a collection of the the bold young men of graphical macros. A lot of people were trying to make a point. Here, Ingrid Towie of Glaxo. Here, Joanna Moore, Pittsburgh. Rob Jacobs got lots of points, as does Phil Barnard. Jock McInlay seemed to have a two-ended point to make here during the session on 3D interfaces. Ren Steinmart was enjoying the event, as was Kathy O'Donnell, both of Geis. And the speakers' breakfast were a time for people to get together and plan their sessions. Here's one group enjoying the breakfast. And in the evening, we had various other discussions. A special interest group of the video authors got together, and Catherine Plaisant told her experiences. The job board had a lot of innovative presentations. Here, Gary Marcionini is opening this box, which had a very creative job resume. And the closing session was Joy Mountford, who gave her presentation, wide-ranging and diverse presentation about different kind of interfaces and different kind of experiences. The closing had Scott Robertson and Terry Roberts, the co-chairs of CHI 95, introducing their team and getting us ready for CHI 95 in Denver. I'll be there. Hope you'll be there too. See you. Thanks.
Allez bien, c'est super. Je viens d'ici.
From Japan, I'm very so excited about it.
Oi, vocês dois? Oi, vem, mas mostro.
I have a first-class degree in software engineering.
Hieno konferenssi, kannatti tulla.
Kyllä, ja täällä on hyviä omenoita.
Amerikassa on muutenkin ihan kiva.
Goedemorgen. De conferentie loopt goed.
Un bonjour de France.
Vielen Dank für die vielen interessanten Anregungen hier.
Hello, hey. I hey, Erkway at a Apple a computer K. Iwe ar hey, ear hey at a ide I K conference K. I may.
Here we have SigCHI, the next generation.
Greetings, Earthlings. This is the future calling from CHI 2000. How are things at CHI 94? I'm Tom Burns. Can you read this?
Hej, Sören Lenman, Sverige.
Kristoffer Ahlberg, underjordiska hemliga rörelsen Fronsa.
So if you want an interface like this, don't exercise, gomsercise.
Aerobics. Touch your toes. Thank you, Kai, for all of the food.
This exhibit is really fabulous. It's just fabulous.
Kai का जवाब नहीं, मजा आ गया.
明年丹佛再见。
これでボストンの会議もおしまい。今度はデンバーで会いましょう。さよなら。